You are a farmer, standing in a barren, empty field holding a single seed that most people would carelessly throw away. Welcome to Professor Simplifies. Today we aren't discussing financial miracles. We are talking about redirecting just $500 a month into a boring investment account. A simple switch that will completely alter the trajectory of your life. If you are currently in your 30s or 40s feeling the intense squeeze of a high mortgage, the relentless costs of raising a family, or the creeping anxiety that you are somehow falling permanently behind your peers, this message is specifically for you. You have not run out of time. When you redirect just $500 a month into a single boring investment account, you aren't merely saving. You aren't just being financially responsible. You are flipping a massive wealth-building switch that 4 out of 5 Americans will never touch in their entire lifetime. Imagine planting a single seed in an empty field. For 2 full years, absolutely nothing happens. You stare at the dirt and you start to think you wasted your hard-earned money. Then in year 3, a tiny tree breaks the surface. And here is what nobody tells you about that process that tree drops seeds. Those seeds become new trees. Those new trees drop even more seeds. By year 25, you don't just have a single tree. You have a sprawling, self-sustaining orchard. This isn't just a clever metaphor. This is exactly what $500 a month physically becomes when you let it run its course. Today, we are walking through the 25-year timeline, year by year, so you can see exactly when the switch flips, when the orchard completely takes over, and why most people quit just 3 years before the actual magic happens. Meet David. He is 35 years old, living in the rapidly expanding suburbs of Denver, Colorado. Like many professionals in the 30 to 45 age bracket, David feels the pressure. Housing costs in Denver are skyrocketing, grocery bills are higher than ever, and his friends seem to be constantly upgrading their lifestyles. Let's start the clock. David redirects $500 a month into a basic S&P 500 index fund. He doesn't go out and get a second job or drastically increase his salary to do this. He simply rewrote what he already has. 1 premium streaming service canceled, 1 weekly takeout meal from his favorite downtown Denver restaurant made at home instead, and a slightly cheaper family phone plan. That is it. He is not making a brutal sacrifice. He is executing a strategic redirection. The clock officially starts the exact moment that first $500 hits his brokerage account. In year 1, David contributes $6,000 of his own money. The market, in its slow and unexciting nature, hands him back $221. That is it. Just $221. That is less than half of a single monthly contribution. He checks his account on his smartphone. He feels absolutely nothing. There are no fireworks, no sudden wealth transformation, no sense of victory. He starts to wonder if he made a massive mistake. In year 2, David has contributed $12,000 in total. His account sits at $12,891. He has earned less than 2 months' worth of his own contributions in interest over an entire 24-month period. The orchard is just dirt. The trees haven't even started growing roots that he can physically see. But this is exactly where most people in their 30s and 40s meet their real enemy. And let me be clear, it isn't bad luck. It isn't a sudden stock market crash. It is something most Americans never even successfully identify. It is the lethal combination of inflation and lifestyle creep. Here at Professor Simplifies, we know that the 30s and 40s are the hardest decades because these two forces work together like a one-way valve. Every annual raise, every career promotion gets quickly absorbed into a slightly bigger apartment, a slightly nicer house in a better school district, a slightly fancier grocery cart, or upgrading to that luxury SUV. And the money that doesn't get absorbed by keeping up with the neighbors gets eaten by inflation at an average of 3% per year, guaranteed. This is why most people stay exactly where they are, trapped in the endless hamster wheel of the middle class. The orchard isn't impossible. They just never let the seed sit long enough in the soil to break the surface. David is actually perfectly on track. He just can't tell yet. Now we move into the danger zone, the specific psychological phase where most people give up entirely. By year 5, David is 40. He has put in $30,000 of his own money. The market has handed him about $5,800 in total returns. That is 5 years of extreme patience for less than a few months of his Denver mortgage payment. He starts asking the dangerous question that kills more generational wealth than any economic recession. Is this even working? Should I just spend it? His colleagues are leasing brand new cars, taking the expensive European vacations he skipped, and posting their flawless lives on social media. And David is sitting there watching a slow-moving spreadsheet that hasn't done anything dramatic since the day he opened it. In the popular OMA D1 meal a day fasting analogy, this is hour 8 of a fast. Your blood sugar drops. You feel shaky. You think you are starving. But you aren't starving. You are just addicted to the easy, fast fuel. David isn't failing. He is just addicted to seeing fast, immediate results in a society that demands instant gratification. The orchard doesn't work on David's timeline. It works entirely on its own. You are a sapling silently pushing your deepest roots into the soil, enduring the cold winter, rather than rushing to sprout. True to the philosophy of Professor Simplifies, the shift in year 6 always happens underground, where your wealth begins to move under its own power, before your eyes can see it. In year 6, something subtle, almost imperceptible shifts. David has contributed $36,000. His account now sits at $45,189. For the very first time, his market gains in a single year, around $4,400, are larger than what he earned in his entire first year of investing combined. Something powerful is moving underground. He still can't see the full picture yet. And this is the tragic juncture where roughly 60% of new investors stop. They sell. They take the small, mediocre gain to pay for a kitchen remodel. They walk away. And they will spend the next 20 years of their lives wondering why other people their age seem to be wealthy and secure while they are still stressing over monthly bills. In year 7, the invisible wall finally breaks. David has contributed $42,000. His account hits $53,830. For the first time, his market gains for the single year, about $5,300, nearly match his entire annual contribution. He didn't earn this money at his corporate job. He didn't commute in heavy traffic for it. He didn't work overtime for it. The orchard just organically gave it to him. Just as the human body unlocks stubborn fat cells when glycogen runs out during a fast, the mathematical laws unlock compound acceleration once your principal balance crosses a specific critical threshold. You see, 7% of a small number is small, but 7% of a growing substantial number is highly significant. The bigger the pile gets, the more heavy lifting it does on its own. This is the mechanical, unsexy truth that nobody explains on financial news networks. By year 10, David is 45 years old. He has contributed $60,000. His account is at $86,542. The market handed him over $6,000 in that single year alone, slightly more than what he put in himself. For the first time in a decade, he is no longer the primary engine of his own wealth. The orchard is taking over. Between years 10 and 15, the entire emotional landscape of investing fundamentally changes. For the first decade, David's emotional energy was tied to a volatile roller coaster. He felt excitement when the market climbed, panic when it dropped out during quiet stretches, and frustration during slow ones. Now his emotional response flatlines. Checking the brokerage account actually becomes incredibly boring. The numbers just keep going up slowly at first, then less slowly. As Professor Simplifies always says, boredom is your best friend in wealth creation. When the math stops being an emotional roller coaster, you stop being tempted to interfere. In OMAD fasting, your brain switches from running on glucose to running on ketones around hour 16, and ketones burn significantly cleaner. In investing around year 12, your portfolio switches from being contribution-driven to being compound-driven, and compound growth burns cleaner. You stop feeling the exhausting friction of earning every single dollar. The money just seamlessly makes more money. In year 12, David officially crosses 6 figures for the first time. His account hits $111,477. He has contributed $72,000 out of pocket. The market has given him almost $40,000 completely for free. By year 15, David is 50. He has contributed $90,000. His account stands at an impressive $155,587. His annual market gains that year alone reached $10,919. He contributed his standard $6,000. The market gave him almost twice that amount. The orchard is now officially producing far more fruit than David is planting. But the real monumental shift hasn't even happened yet. The single most important moment in David's entire 25-year journey is still 2 years away. You are a captain standing on the deck, watching the heavy winds finally and fully take over your sails. In the eyes of Professor Simplifies, this is when passive becomes permanent, as your orchard begins planting itself at a speed you could never match. This is the exact moment. In year 17, David has contributed $102,000. His account sits at $190,295. His annual growth that year violently accelerates to $13,393. His annual contribution remains a steady $6,000. For the very first time in David's life, his money out-earns his physical labor by more than 2 to 1. It happens without his permission, without extra effort, without him doing a single thing differently than he did back when he was 35. In the fasting analogy, this is the magical hour when your body stops being a mere consumer of food and becomes an efficient recycler. The internal cleaning crew finally comes to work. In the world of investing, this is the exact year your money permanently stops being a hungry consumer of your monthly paychecks and becomes a powerful producer of its own wealth. David is now merely spectating. The orchard is planting itself across acres of land, and here is what makes this specific moment so permanent. From this point forward, David's portfolio gains will always exceed his contributions every single year. Even if he completely stopped contributing today, the math has officially reached escape velocity. You have been told your entire life that getting rich is about grinding harder. It isn't. Getting rich is solely about reaching the crossover point. Millions of Americans will earn millions of dollars in salary across their lifetime and tragically never reach this point. David reached it by simply ignoring the noise. And now things get really strange. Now the skeptics will say, but what about a massive market crash? What if another 2008 happens? Won't David lose absolutely everything? This is the single most common objection among middle-aged investors who are terrified of losing their nest egg, and it is mathematically backwards. In a deep fast, your body releases human growth hormone to protect itself, telling your system to burn fat, but protect the muscle. Dollar cost averaging through a brutal economic crash is the exact investing equivalent. When the market drops 30%, David's automated $500 buys 30% more shares than it did the previous month. He is aggressively loading up on highly discounted inventory, while everyone else panics and sells. Someone who steadfastly invested $500 a month straight through the terrifying depths of the 2008 crash actually came out ahead of their pre-crash trajectory within just 4 years. Crashes are the muscle-sparing hormone. They brutally strip the weak hands out of the market while leaving David's portfolio completely intact. In year 20, David is 55. He has contributed $120,000. His account sits at a staggering $260,463. His annual growth that year is $18,396. He is now earning 3 times his annual contribution in sheer compound growth alone. By year 22, his account crosses $315,000. Across a quarter of a century, he has contributed exactly $150,000 of his own money. That breaks down to about $6,000 per year. His account sits at $409,233. The market handed him $259,233 purely on top of his own contributions. In year 25 alone, his account grew by an astonishing $28,962. That is nearly 5 times what he is still putting in. David did 36.6% of the actual heavy lifting. The financial markets did 63.4% of the work. He is not incredibly lucky. He did not pick the right tech stocks. He simply bought one boring index fund and stopped looking at the screen. That is the grand secret. Because your money is going into a highly sensitive long-term system, what you put in matters immensely. You have to treat your $500 like building material. Step 1 is the foundation, the employer. 401k match. If your job offers a match, this is literally free money. Skipping this is like skipping protein after a long fast. Step 2 is the engine, a boring index fund. Avoid individual stocks. Avoid crypto bets. Avoid the hot tips your neighbor in Denver is pitching you. These are the junk food that destroys the meal. Step 3 is the structure tax-advantaged accounts, like a Roth IRA or HSA. These provide the structural protection that prevents the government from taking a quarter of your orchard. And remember, $500 a month is the floor, not the ceiling. Every extra $100 a month adds another $80,000 to David's 25-year total. If you start this tomorrow, you are going to want to quit. You will face the year 3 crisis. The math hasn't snapped yet. The orchard is invisible. The fix is simple. Automate the contribution. You can't be tempted to spend money you never touch. You will face the crash panic. The fix is identical. Don't check your portfolio during the storm, and you will face the lifestyle creep trap. Every raise that gets absorbed into a bigger house destroys the orchard. The whole point is to invest the raise, not eat it. This assumes you have an emergency fund and have paid off high-interest debt. The orchard cannot outgrow a 22% credit card. The outside world is engineered to make you fear patience and underestimate small steps. But math doesn't lie. And it certainly doesn't care about your feelings. The core philosophy Professor Simplifies leaves you with today is clear. You aren't poor, you simply lack a system that has been given enough time to breathe. Let the natural laws do their heavy lifting, and let boredom become your greatest advantage. If you spot any oversights or have a different perspective, please share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Professor Simplifies. This is Professor Simplifies, and I'll see you in the next video.